Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news from geeks like you. If you're new to our show, we cover the geek news beat and we share our opinions with that news. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me we got Rakai. Say what's up, Rakai.
Hello, Puppet.
Okay, the first things first, Rakai. The greatest movie franchise has something that we've never seen before. Jason Momoa blows up the Vatican in Fast 10. Fast 10. You believe that? They got Jason Momoa blowing up the Vatican.
As known to man is the Fast.
The greatest
Fast
movie
X.
franchise of all time. People get mad at me when I say it, but man,
I mean,
people love these movies about cars.
They go wild. They go wild. I can't front.
It is like watching Hot Wheels as a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just like yesterday when it was just about, how
Still in
fast
DVDs.
race to get to a quarter mile. Because you only lived your life a quarter mile at a time, like, and it's all about family,
Now it's about family and blowing shit up and defying physics.
Wait a minute, defying physics. How about they done brought damn near everybody who's died besides Paul Walker has come back. Then it brought everybody dead ass back. Like, ain't nobody died.
Cause it's fast and it's furious.
And now with AI and shit, they probably for this one they might deep fake Paul Walker. I know they're using his brother as a stunt double or whatever. So
yeah,
they might deep fake him. You know what I'm saying to end it out. Crazy.
So Louis Letter, who helmed Now You See Me in the Transporter movies, directed Fast 10, replacing Justin Lin. So Justin Lin got replaced. He was like, I've had enough of Vin Diesel shit, and I'm gonna go and do my own thing. I'm gonna leave the franchise I built. People can't forget Justin Lin kind of built this franchise.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
carried it on his back.
No,
he did Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, that's where he came in, was Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, but that was when it all changed. That's when it decided to go off the rails.
And it's probably back then when he was like, you know what? What would happen if we put a rocket on a Pontiac Fiero and make it go into space?
Absolutely. They had the best motorcycle scene ever. And Idris Elba's riding and he slid it down and he slid across the concrete and hopped back on it.
And that shit was cold-blooded though.
It was cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
It was cold. People loved that. People loved it.
Yeah, he had that AI, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Half Tesla, half Terminator.
He was like Terminator, yes.
Yeah, he was damn part cyborg and
yes. It was amazing. It was amazing. I don't know how people are not excited about this. This is like as little kids, you're playing with your race cars and everything you did with them. Like you had them jumping off the couch, which was a cliff, onto the river bank. You swooped aside through the toilet paper hole. That's basically what these movies are. They took that childhood dream and made it into a movie franchise.
Put actual people in the cars and made dialogue and story. They just out here wilding.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing about this is, because we got a whole new cast of characters, including, Jason Momoa. Aquaman is the the main villain, and Jason Momoa.
They're friends.
Well, yeah, they always pull that shit at the end. But I heard that they're not gonna do that or whatever, so whatever. But what's her name? Brie Larson is in this.
Is she in this one?
Yeah. When Kurt Russell was in as Mr. Nobody, the CIA dude or whatever he was, secret, allegedly he died in the last one or whatever. They came after him and disappeared. Brie Larson is his daughter.
Okay, that makes sense. Because look at this cast: Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Ludacris, Tyrese Gibson. They got Jason Statham. They got Charlize Theron, John Cena, and Helen Mirren.
Yep, and just Brie Larson, Kang. I think Gal Gadot's back. Like,
yeah, they got everybody. I just want them to have Henry Cavill come in, and I need them to bring in Michael Keaton at the same time.
Let's get Ryan Reynolds in there. Let's get Hugh
And
Jackman.
let's get Kevin Hart,
Yeah,
maybe Martin Lawrence for Kevin Hart, and Eddie Murphy.
yeah, hell, let's do it up. Let's get everybody in there. Perry in there.
And at the end, they have a dinner for everybody. We have it at the barbecue this time at the
It's,
Vatican.
it's about. I
Yeah,
wonder if this movie, because it is, since it is the greatest franchise of all time, I wonder if this movie and this part can redeem Brie Larson, because it really seems like it doesn't matter what she does, people hate her monkey ass. Like they can't
I
stand
don't know
her.
how people hate Brie Larson. I love Brie Larson.
But I mean, like the contempt for her, like there's
It
already
is
been a
high.
campaign against the Marvels movie solely because of Brie Larson. Like they hate her ass.
I don't know why they hate Brie Larson. I
I
have
don't get it either. Like, I mean, if it was Amber Heard, I get it. You know, so I go shit on somebody else's bed. Ain't funny. But
that
I
is
don't
not.
get, but I don't get, yeah, I don't get what the hate is behind Brie Larson though.
I don't get it at
Was,
all.
what was her name? Anna at Demon Head or Snake at Demon Head?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Scott
and Scott,
Pilgrim.
yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So
Uh-huh.
that
She
she
was
gets
in 21 Jump Street. I mean, there's a lot of things she was in that's good. The Tanner Hall movie.
she was in 21 Jump Street, wasn't she?
She was in 21 Jump Street. Yeah.
That movie was awesome though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why
They
people hate
brought
her.
on Rob Riggle, just Rob Riggle ate every time he got on screen.
Yep. I don't know why they hate her so much. So
Yeah. Oh
it's
well.
crazy. Next up, Golly Quest, the best Star Trek movie, could be getting its own TV series.
Hey,
Man,
I
I
love Galaxy Quest.
I don't know how to go series.
I don't either. Like and I think I told you this. We were talking the other day. Like I've never been when it seemed to be a divide, there was a war. I was a Star Wars person through and through.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
never a Star Trek person. I was aware of Star Trek, maybe even had watched, some of it, but I was not a trucker, Trekkie, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the new TV shows and what they're doing on Paramount, I like those. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually watch those, pretty religiously. The movies with Chris Pine, yeah, those were, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of sad because, my Star Wars movies fell apart and Star Trek stuff got better. So, but Galaxy Quest was had like that perfect blend of it didn't take itself too seriously. It had
No,
a
it didn't
perfect
take it
blend of
seriously at all.
whimsy, um,
Yeah.
and adventure, and it was just right. It created a perfect balance between what a kid would like. Like I could sit down and watch this movie with my kids, or I could sit down and enjoy it by
Mm-hmm.
myself, and it works either way. Like
Mm-hmm. Yep. I
you're right.
mean,
They could do it as a series. I mean, I'm sure that they could stretch it out to 10 episodes. I just don't see multiple seasons. Somebody
yeah.
wrote a
If it's a
script,
limited series, yes, that's just a long movie.
but one of the
Uh,
best people on the whole show in the movie was Alan Rickman, and R.I.P. to him. I don't. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can reprise his part, but I don't see it.
Yeah. The passing of Alan Rickman seemed to cool the talks down for this series, but Paramount Plus is like, hey, we're gonna bring it back. I mean, Paramount Plus has been leaning really hard into Star Trek. They've been leaning. They have Star Trek Lower Decks. They have Strange World, Discovery. They have Picard.
They got Picard. They're supposed
Hmm.
to be bringing out Section 31. They've
Section 31, which is probably going to be their best series unless they marry Sue.
Yeah, but Section
Michelle
31
Yeoh.
being not a series though.
Is it a
Uh,
movie? I thought it was a series.
it's a movie.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a movie, not a series.
they ain't got enough money
They
for
got
Michelle
Lower
Yeoh.
Deck. They got Prodigy.
Prodigy. Yep.
So, and then I hear there's talks of because of what they're doing in Picard right now, like back one of those not Next Generation, maybe
Deep Space Nine.
Voyager or one of those. Yeah,
Voyager.
bring back one
Yeah.
of those. So I
It
don't
makes
know.
sense for them to bring back Deep Space Nine because Deep Space Nine is dope.
Yeah. What was it? Avery Brooks was the
Every
captain?
books.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah, they should bring it back. Um, but the fact they're making everything into a series, I need Disney Plus to step up and buy Spaceballs and make it into a series.
that would be not, I mean, and that only makes sense. Y'all the Star Wars people get the space balls.
Get the Spaceballs. That's right.
And Mel Brooks' old ass is still around, like
Yes, and have him write it. Have Mel Brooks write it. They probably have to come in and clean it up after he writes
and
it.
have him as yogurt, says
Yes. I'm saying I would love to see a Spaceball series.
that shit would be comedy.
It'd be like Futurama, but in live action.
Uh, yeah, that would be crazy.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Space balls was so good.
It'd be so good. So good. Speaking of Star Trek, Michelle Yeoh's beaming back into Star Trek. We're going into that. We're going to talk about Section 31. Philippa Giorgio was the original captain of the ship Shinzu, but was killed in the pilot episode. But she really wasn't killed. The alternate version of her comes up, and we love her for it from the Mirrorverse counterpart.
Yeah,
But
but I
she's
think
the
that
Empress.
was dope. It's like, what I'm saying? They killed her off to give
Yep.
Sonequa Martin Green's character, who was a number one, some purpose and
Yeah,
part to fill out her backstory and stuff like that, because she took a chance on her. Because even after she had gotten all that trouble and shit, she took a chance on her.
she
Uh,
did.
uh, but I think when they went to the whole Mirrorverse thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like an alternate universe where everything was flipped. So, like the people who were their allies were their enemies and everything was flipped. And she was evil as hell. And she ate the screen every time
Every time she was a
like,
badass.
yeah, and then she got stuck on the ship with them and transported back uh into the regular,
Regular.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then cause she was the rift, it was messing up the timeline and she was disappearing. She was having her problems and she fixed it. But yeah, I'm quite excited about Philippa coming back as Philippa.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is they're gonna marry Seward. They're gonna make her like indestructible. She's a completely she's flawed in the anti hero way, and that's what they're gonna make her. It's gonna like irk me. It's gonna irk me.
Mhm.
Um, more Star Trek news. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has a season 2 trailer out and teases a bit of time travel.
Mhm.
Season 2 will also feature the previously announced crossover episode with animated series Star Trek Lower Decks. Tawny Newsom's ensign Beckett Mariner and Jack Quaid's ensign Brad Bomer will appear on Strange New Worlds in a live action and animated episode directed by none other than Jonathan Frakes. That sounds freaking amazing.
It absolutely does.
I wonder how they're gonna pull this off. Where it's both live action and animated. Is it gonna be some Roger Rabbit type shit, or is it gonna be like half of it's gonna be live action? Something happens to warp something to an animated world, and they have those characters there. You
Oh
know,
no,
it.
I was looking at something where where they did something like one of the episodes. What was it? Oh, I was watching something about Donald Glover, and he was just talking
Mm-hmm,
about key points of some stuff he's done over the last few years. And he
mm-hmm.
was talking about I want to say it was season 3 of Atlanta, and he was talking about like the black and white episode. Um,
Yeah.
and and I think when you do stuff like this, especially with Star Trek, the beautiful thing about Star Trek, depending on what the show is, it really you can open up. They doing Strange New Worlds. You can open
Yes.
up and do any damn thing that you can think of, and it's
Mm-hmm,
not, as long as it's not ridiculous and stays in line with the show, because the show is a pretty serious show, and Strange New
mm-hmm,
Worlds was actually the first season was actually an excellent season. Um, so I don't know, to flip back and forth and to do animated, as long as like the animated is not like Animaniacs, like some old corny
Yeah.
cartoony, like you know, like kind of you know what it remind me of? With the thought of was
What's that?
the Aha Take on Me video from back in
Yes.
the 80s. If they do
Yes.
something like that, that would in
But
like
but that's not the style of Lower Decks. The style of Lower Decks is Simpsons.
well, that's
It's Cal Art style. So I think it's gonna have to keep it in Cal Art style.
I don't know. I can't wait to see what they do with that. 'Cause I love lower decks. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I do too. I love Lower Decks too. And for people that don't know, Star Wars Strange New World season 2 will bring
okay.
back Paul Wesley as the younger James T. Kirk before his takeover as the Empire as the captain of the USS Enterprise. You see Spock getting drunk with some Klingons. You send Lennon and Kirk to modern day Toronto apparently, and otherwise a pretty action packed show. So you have that. Now they had this animation um episode, which is gonna be a crossover, which makes sense. If they pull this off,
You know,
man, there's no reason for Star Wars not to do it.
the crazy thing is if they pull this off too, because the tones of shows like Strange New Worlds was very serious, and it was a great action-packed show.
Yeah,
Lower Decks is silly as hell. Like Lower
it's
Decks,
really silly.
and for those of you that don't know, Lower Decks is all about, uh, because when you watch the shows, you watch about the people who work on the bridge, like they're
Hmm.
important. It was always the running joke that when you see the person in the red uniform, oh, that's the one that's about to die because he got on the
Yes.
different uniform than everybody else. His ass about to go out here and get killed by the monster on the planet.
Hmm. Hmm.
Lower Decks is a show all about the people who would probably get eaten by the damn monster. Like they work in
Hmm.
the basement in the bottom bowels of the ship, and they have the most menial, terrible tasks to do. Um, and that's why I like it because they're irreverent and they're stupid as hell. So this could be fantastic. But hey, like if you think about like live action and something like Visions or Tales of the Jedi,
Yeah. I think it could be like something like Visions Tells of the Jedi and with live action. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna probably be like that mixture or that feel of Love Death Robots.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of death and not robots, but kind of robotic acting anyway. Lion Gates is going to reboot Twilight into a television series. They're like, you get a series and you get a series. They turn everything into a television series. And I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense because that's a long standing book series. But according to Hollywood Reporter, Lionsgate TV is in the early stages of developing on a new take on Meyer's Twilight novels that serve as the basis for the studio's previously film adaptations that broke all kinds of box office records, ultimately ranking in $3.4 billion. No creative team has been announced so far.
Here's the thing though. We live in a completely different world.
Mm-hmm.
Post pandemic, definitely different as far as, I'm saying, more emo kids. The world is more dangerous. There's a whole different thing about the spectrum of LGBTQ. Um, is Twilight even, I don't know, could he even capture the imagination of young people again like it did? Like when it came out, it was a straight phenomenon. It was crazy. It was crazy. Was you Team Edward or Team Jacob? It was crazy.
Yeah,
My kids love that tripe. I like
kids
vampire movies.
love it.
That was
Kids
some
love it.
bullshit.
I think if they do it, they're going to delve into what Myers wrote, and it can be off-putting. Myers is, I heard the books are very pedophilistic, and that may strike this climate. It may strike parents wrong, both
I mean, it's got to be
conservative
pedophilistic.
and
I mean, Edward is a vampire who's several
uh,
hundred years old,
yeah,
and
he's
Bella is
134 years old.
17.
and she's like 17 when he meets her. She's not even 17. I think she's like 14.
Yeah, shit.
And she meets her in the books, 14, 15 when he meets her in the books.
This is definitely not True Blood.
He's in a 17-year-old body. And I don't know how much they're going to dive into that because she based a lot of her books on her Mormon upbringing.
On what?
Her Mormon upbringing.
That makes sense.
So it's tracking that and the rules of the Mormon church. So it's one on that they're going to actually explore that. And I guess it makes sense because Harry Potter's getting a series, which makes total sense when you read the books. There's so many
Lord
details.
of the Rings is getting a series. It's like you said, you
Yeah,
get a series. You get a series.
yeah. But there's so much material that was left out of the books that was put into the movies. You know, the movies are truncated versions of the books, and they can blow it all out. I don't know if I care to see it again. I read the books. I read Lord of the Rings, read the books, and I saw the movies, and I was satisfied because my brain filled in all the spaces that were blank.
Well, I mean, I did read a couple of the Harry Potter books, and so if they took one season and did a whole book over a season,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they plan on doing. And the last two books are over 1,000 pages.
yeah, I get it,
So they'll
and
break that up into two
it worked.
seasons. So they'll have 10
That should work.
seasons. They have 10 seasons total.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like The Last of Us. Like they played the whole first game was in one season, and
Mm-hmm.
actually, really, they could have probably slowed it down, gave us more, of the walkers
Trekking
or
across the walk across
yeah,
America. Yep.
yeah, and they could have probably slowed it down and gave us two seasons of the first game, but it is what it is. So
I think we're gonna probably end it there. We're gonna be stuck on mostly movie and television news today, which is not a bad thing.
okay,
We'll go
and
into
we,
crosstalk.
we really ended with what's that shit? Twilight.
Okay, 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 okay. I got another story that I really wanted. I was itching to get to. Sonic the Hedgehog can actually spin into the new Lego sets. Yes, sir.
Of course, talking
Launcher
about Legos.
that'll send the ball and case Sonic spinning through a loop de loop, jumping through a ring, and bouncing over a bridge in a Lego set. Hell yes, I'm on that. I'm on all about that.
There's got to
Lego has made
be
another
Legos.
fan toy
There's
just for me. They
the
did it
Legos.
just
They
for
sit
me.
around making stuff, and they're like, "Do you think Chuck would like this?"
I think
You
they
can't
do
wait for you
think
to say, "Take my money." Like,
I think that's exactly what they think. And I'm glad that Lego sees me. They get me. They get me. People don't understand Sonic is so dear to my heart. I remember working at Micro City government at 14 years old. I took my whole entire first paycheck. I rode my bicycle out on New Circle Road from Cardinal Valley to the game store to be the first person to purchase the Sonic the Hedgehog game.
no, I get it. My
It,
first tattoo, a gangster
Mhm.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Gangsta Sonic. I remember
I
when I
get
bought that game. I was so excited to get it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get this. I can't wait." But now he can spin like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think Lego really saw me. They get me.
they get you.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're gonna take all his money. Take all his
That's
money. The
hilarious.
flagship $100 Sonic the Hedgehog Zoom Zone Loop Challenge has classic fish and trees and lizards and foes and two parts Dr. Robotnik boss that can float or stand on his legs. Forest creatures to rescue after he's defeated. Man, this is just like the game. I'm 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 purchasing this day one. Day one. And I'm gonna purchase all the other sets. I'm gonna be like F Mario. I'm on Team Sonic all the way.
I can see it now. Like, how some people have a warehouse for cars, some
Uh-huh.
people have a warehouse for, all the Jordans and all the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have the damn Lego warehouse, Lego and like all them Transformers. That's what's gonna be in your warehouse.
That is what's gonna be. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I didn't ask to do this.
I know we didn't even talk about it. I don't know if it's on here, if it's on our stream, but I caught wind of some news today that I already know that you're gonna be all over it.
What's that?
Timothy Chalamet is in talks to star in a live-action Gundam series.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna be all on that. I'm okay with Timothy Chalamet being that guy.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm gonna be all over that. Yeah, you got me.
we doing some crosstalk.
Yeah, we can go into crosstalk. Now we can go into crosstalk. You let me get my Lego story, y'all. I was trying to spare you, but thank you for
I'm
that.
good because I don't even think about Twilight no more.
Yeah,
So
okay. We going to crosstalk. We got Courtney and Randy. Sorry it took so long, guys. Rakai made me do another story.
we got Courtney and King Cocaine.
He ain't in his Versace shirt
You got
today.
Versace on today.
I told you that was for a theme, man. I don't walk around just like that all the time.
You back to Clark Kent today. Okay.
Now I don't. Now I don't. In the 90s, yeah, the closet was filled with Versace and Tommy Hilfiger and Nautica back in the day. But I don't dress like that no more.
You missed it yesterday, Courtney.
You missed it.
You missed
What?
it yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
It
Well,
was Detroit J here yesterday.
Central
Here.
Sneak and Don Magic Wand.
What?
Randy had on a Versace
Running
shirt.
had on this beautiful yellow like
Black
bubble.
and yellow.
Oh, hi, yellow.
Black and yellow, like silk, like, yeah, man. I was
He had a Versace shirt on yesterday, like an
with the
80s
gold chain.
rapper.
90s.
Gold chain with
90s rapper,
a big
90s
dollar
rapper.
sign emblem. Oh, we
Yeah.
like in between stuff. We was like, we can't, because we can't see his hands. I was like, he got his long pinky nail. He got his credit card out, it's cutting up his cocaine.
What was this during GeekBeast yesterday?
Yeah, it was Geek
Yeah,
Beast,
man.
and we did binge ready beef yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
We did it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But we're gonna talk, you guys. So the Twilight movies has been turned into the series. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about it? Tell me what your thoughts are.
Why?
Vampires.
I don't-
Vampires.
Just why?
Yeah.
No, but it's already been done. At least give me some new vampires. Like, it's
'Cause-
literally not old enough. It was in this same, like,
Century.
20 years.
So,
It was literally the 21st century. Like, I don't.
I don't think they should do it, but like they're redoing Harry Potter, right? Aren't they doing?
That's
doing
another
Harry
thing.
Potter.
They don't need to do that either.
I have tons of friends that are quite excited about the Harry Potter being redone. It's like now we can go into detail of all the things that were missed out. Like they're redoing the Lord of the Rings too.
Oh, they are? I didn't know about that one. But here's my thing. I feel like people are going to be looking for certain inclusive things that were not stated in the books. So I know Fantastic Beasts has really opened the door in terms of like what she has said about, Dumbledore and his sexuality, which, hey, cool. She said that, even though, alluded to that in like Twitter episodes, and then it became lore in Fantastic Beasts. So I'm totally cool with that. But it's like, if y'all are looking for other reasons, and I'm just like, everybody wants to like talk about the story without talking about the author. And that's like trying to talk about The Shining or It or Misery without mentioning Stephen King. Like, you can't do that.
I agree. There's going to, I think Twilight may be hit with protests as well because it's based on I forgot her last name, the author.
Stephanie
Meyer's
Stephanie Meyer.
life as being a Mormon.
Yeah.
And it has she has a lot of pedophilistic themes in her books.
For Harry Potter though, like, and I've read all of the books. I read all of them and I've enjoyed them all. But is there anything really in Harry Potter that's in the books that wasn't in the movies that we necessarily need for a series? I thought the Harry Potter movies were great.
Man, I'm in the at work.
They didn't capture everything in the book. No, they didn't, but that's fine. I don't think it's to the degree that we need another whole series based on the original books. I just thought the movies live fine in the universe that they're in.
Yeah, I don't need backstory on the goblins.
Yeah, I don't need
or Dobby. I don't need to see like the house elves having a protest. I don't, they didn't have a protest in the books. I'm just making things up right now. But like, I just don't.
Yeah, and if people feel like they want to see it, like go read the books. Right? Go read the books. The movies stand fine just the way they are.
I mean, they were well done. I mean, unless she wants to cast Hermione as a Black girl. And honestly, I know that they did that on Broadway in The Cursed Child, Hermione is a Black woman. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're looking for inclusion, but I like the books the way that I just like the books. You know what I mean? Like, if you like the book, then you like the book. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to change it and make it how you want it to be. And I think that's also a fault of reality TV. Reality TV has given us this, Twitter and Instagram has given us input per se. Comments have given us input in what we think an artist's work should be and or include or is missing. Like, just either don't watch it or watch it.
Yeah,
don't read it or read it.
Like, just to try to be more inclusive. Like,
I think so. I think that has a big part of it.
So
yeah,
I think they might white it all up and just do it like they did the books. Like, she comes in, but like, nope, I want it as authentic as my books are.
Well, does she have anything to do with it?
She does. And WB has come out and specifically said she is an executive producer. They have not said she's going to be in the writing room. Right, but they said that she is actively involved.
Man, Randy, she's so involved. She's like involved with the parks, everything, even the food in the parks.
Well, one reason
she made sure she held her rights.
For the longest, though, they almost acted as if she wasn't involved in anything. Like when they had the anniversary, when they had the reunion, she's not on the reunion.
No, she's not.
Yeah, but she had to agree to that because she holds so much power. She had a great ass agent and lawyer.
Yeah, her agent,
because she maintained all the rights to her work. So everything, and she has complete creative control. So her not being in the anniversary special was her choice. Like, they probably asked her to step back, but they couldn't tell her she had to.
Or would they have not done it if she would have been involved or been more visible?
And she'd probably been like, I'm okay with that.
She'd been like, exactly. Like, she already got money.
No, she's got a boatload of money.
I'm a billionaire.
And I'd been like, okay, don't do it. Because there's no way I wouldn't have been in it. Y'all don't need to literally, what you anniversarying? Like, the show just happened. They just turned what? Because the actors just turned 30? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the last one came out, like 2005 or something like that? 2010?
I want to say wasn't it like 2012, 2011 or something like that? 2012?
I think the last
I think it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's been like 10
But it
years.
started in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So technically it would have been like the books started. So it's, even though they say it was the anniversary for the movies, like the books, the first movie came out. I literally have a Harry Potter poster right behind me. The first movie came out November 16th, 2001.
Yeah, that makes about sense because I was still in college when it came out.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting what happens with the Harry Potter, all these series being made.
And the reason I think that it has a lot to do with inclusion and diversity is because, and this is just speculation, but Rick Riordan did a huge, Rick Riordan wrote the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, and it's a very popular young adult book series. And it's now they had a movie series that they did too that did not do well, but they turned it into a series, and it's going to be on Disney Plus. Rick Riordan has specifically said, and he again has huge retained rights to his books. And he said himself that he made sure that one of the characters, so the main character, Annabeth Chase, has been cast as a Black girl. And in the books, she is a white girl. And he said it was very important to him to change the inclusion that was not originally, even though there were characters of color in the book series, there wasn't in the main, like the main two kids. So he wanted to make sure that one of them represented.
And a lot of them are doing that because they did the same thing with House of Dragons. Like the Black, they weren't Black originally, right?
That was no.
But it's just like because so in the movies, they had their little buddy that was the satyr.
Grover was the satyr. Yeah.
Grover was Brandon T. Jackson, so they had the guy. But this time around, he's like an Indian kid.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Hermione's color is never mentioned in the books.
No, but her name's Hermione.
It's Hermione, but
Really?
described
I,
as not.
I
Granger
thought,
could be,
no,
that could be
I don't
black.
think
That's
I
very
don't
Irish.
I don't think her race is mentioned, but like
They talk about her hair, I thought.
Her
I think
hair.
JK,
It's the
JK
curly
came out and
hair
talked
and,
about
Yeah.
a
and
her
freckles. She has
description.
freckles.
Yes,
Said
very
her
Irish.
description was that she wrote her as a black woman or whatever.
Well, that's why when people were saying in the play, in The Cursed Child, a black woman was cast, as Courtney said. And J.K. Rowling had to say, like, in the book, I don't know why people are mad. In the book, her color is never mentioned. It is never mentioned throughout.
Because her name's
Go
Hermione,
back
and
and look at her
Hermione.
description of her. She said it's very easy to see that she's a
It
black
could be a
woman.
black woman because her hair is
But
curly. She has some
but they're
freckles.
singing
I
her
mean,
name
but
is
that's just like this one dude that I heard of that's got like hair of wool and feet like burned brass, and next thing I know,
Like,
he looks like Brad Pitt or some shit. So
right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah.
But her name is Hermione, and that is an Irish name, and Irish people have curly hair and a lot of freckles.
And it could, but
And
Hermione,
that's why people were upset. I know in
but
Ireland
Yeah.
they were upset
but the
about it.
character is the actress. She's not the one who played her. She's not Irish, is she?
oh, Emma Watson. No,
Yeah,
Emma
she's-
Watson?
Is she Irish?
No.
I mean
British.
British,
She's British.
Irish,
Right, so she's-
same thing.
But that's
Well,
what
I
I'm saying.
don't know. I don't know her. I don't know her heritage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it could have. It was
very
perfect.
important to JK and the people to keep the movies honest and cast just about everybody as the British, like a British cast. So.
Yeah, like Emma is British.
Yeah.
But you can black British
She
too.
specifically said there would be no Americans in
Right.
Yeah.
any version of a character in her series.
Mm-hmm.
But then she opened it up for Fantastic Beasts and brought the American school in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's perfectly feasible that if they recast it, Hermione could be black as a little girl. Because
Absolutely. I think she will be. I think that she will be black. I think that it's going to match the Cursed Child, like the way she cast the Cursed Child.
Mm.
And the reason that I think that is because going back to what you just said, Randy, about how it says like her hair is curly and that she has freckles. Maybe she originally did want a black girl, but in 2001, if they had cast one of those little kids as like a black kid, people would have lost their mind.
Not
And it
only
would
that,
not have become the franchise that it is now.
yeah, and she had the rights over the stuff, but that was her first foray. Like she didn't wield the kind of power that she does now. Like
Yeah, especially not the first one.
Right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what are we looking at today, Randy? What are we watching?
What are we watching? We're watching The Mandalorian season 3.
Okay.
Disney Plus is Mandalorian season 3.
So, if for y'all to know, we're watching Mandalorian season 3 for Binge Worthy. That's coming up right after Geek Beast. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. We hope y'all stay tuned in and y'all watch it with us and hear our takes. I'm not going to do any hot takes today. I say we'll wait till we get our ratings in. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace.